Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. I'm your host, Sky. We got your host, Jace, CJ in the building, and special guest, y'all already know, coming back in 2024, Warren,
Third time.
motherfucking G, back in the building. Let's go.
What's up?
Regulators.
Yeah.
Mount up.
I was about to
Mount
say, you gotta
up.
hit them with the regulators, you know? We are back. How's your channel and stuff been going since, you were last on?
Slow. Very slow. I've it's life had gotten so much busier since the last time I was on here. I've been to multiple states. I went to a different country. Holidays were crazy. Just all over the place. But I'm about to drop my next video. I won't give a shout out too early. I'll save it until the end. Little secret coming up. But yeah. Like I said, it's been all over the place. Iceland, cold, extremely cold, but beautiful. Went to Pittsburgh, and just been all over the place.
Man's over here.
Man, I'm glad to hear your OnlyFans channel is growing, man. That's love. That's a beautiful thing.
Subscribe to it's only $5 a month.
Shit.
Whoa, he said like he was excited to like. Let me check.
I got five. I got five on it.
Oh man, y'all, let's go ahead and hop into it because last weekend we had UFC 297, and I ain't gonna lie, UFC 297 was hard to get through. Let's start off with rating the card. Let's rate it 1 through 10. You go ahead and start, Warren.
5 out of 10.
And you being generous, huh?
Yeah. Listen, I try, even when it gets boring, I try to he's that good feint, that good wrestling move. So I try not to get it too low because I still love watching, but man, some of those fights, Raquel Pennington, remember Silva, it was all right.
What about you, CJ?
I give it about a 4.6. It started off pretty good. It started off good. Prelims were solid. The pre-pre's were solid. And then we got to the main card and we were like, God damn, man, it was not high quality. It felt like a fight night. The main fight was pretty decent. I give that fight probably about a 6.7. But all in all, it was like we probably could have missed this whole card. I don't like. I went back to watch, controversy with the Sean and Dricus fight. So I went back and rewatched certain rounds of that fight. But other than that, I don't ever want to watch nothing else from this card again. I'm cool off of that, my boys.
Yo, I don't think we ever heard CJ say that. Like, typically CJ like, oh, it wasn't so bad. He said, I never want to watch a fight on this card again. That's crazy.
So y'all thought that this was so much worse than the last week's fight night?
Yes.
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 Wow.
How'd you rate it?
Well, I need to check my list. I've been trying to keep a list of everything so I can be, unlike a lot of people on the pod,
nice.
consistent, So I think last week I gave it a 4.2 or 4.3. I'm going to give this one a 5.5. 5.5. I didn't think the card was horrible.
Wow.
Listen, I've been watching this podcast for months now. I want to know what your dictionary definition of consistent is.
Come on, Warren. Pow, pow. Shots fired.
That's who I am. That's all I am is consistent.
Right. But what's your dictionary definition? What's consistent?
Well, for one, me picking 98% accuracy.
That's a goddamn lie.
Right.
That's a lie.
Hey, he consistently is sticking to that 98 to 97%.
Well, brother picked John Jones and Kobe Covington, so his percentage is way lower than 98%.
Actually, if we're going to be honest, it's actually off because I'm 100% this year. So
the whole party.
No, they ain't. No, they
for
ain't.
The main event picks
for the top 3 been doing. No, they ain't.
That's only because we have to bully you into making picks now. You said going forward, you're going to have to make your top 3 picks because you skipped Raquel, you skipped Magny, and you only picked Dricus versus Sean.
He hella didn't pick
and we had
nobody
to
else.
pull your team to get that. We had to pull your team.
I was about to say, hold on, did he pick Rocky and Bueno Silva? I was like, I
No.
know you didn't pick. Okay, so that's why I
didn't pick
know
them.
you bullshitted.
I didn't pick them. I did pick Neil. I said Neil was gonna just lay on top of him like a wet blanket.
Did you pick Neil?
Yeah,
I think he did.
wet blanket. Wet
Okay,
blanket.
check you out. You and Damien picked Neil then.
Yeah, I did abstain from the second fight, which I'm glad that I did. And then, damn, the main event, man, Jesus, I can't wait. Like, how did y'all score the fight?
We're gonna get there.
We'll get there.
I'm gonna rate this card a smooth 4.5.
You right there with me.
It wasn't easy for me to make my way through it at all. And full disclosure, I haven't announced it on the pod, but if you guys do follow me on social media, I am pregnant with twins and expecting them in about 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, so
5 6 weeks. Wow.
Yeah. I'm quite close. That's what she said. But so my energy levels have been down for a while now. Like they've been down for a while. I ain't gonna lie. This City fight, Charles Jourdain fight, Brad Katona fight, all three of them knocked out, gone. Absolutely slept through every single one of these fights. Woke up and was like, "What is going on?" And apparently nothing happened besides people thought that Bruce Buffer said Charles' name instead of Sean Woodson. Huge controversy between this Sahir Sadidi fight, and then
that was a good fight.
That was a great fight. That was a great. That's the fight of the year for me so far.
Really? Okay,
yeah, for starting the year off. Yeah, is it gonna stay there? Hell no. But it was a great fight.
Yeah,
it was banging city, like me when I used to live in Vegas.
Okay, I'm gonna add it to the tracker because we are tracking this year. Just to try and, so when we get to the end, we don't have to, but I'm added to the tracker that you want to add that to the fight of the year. So yeah, so I did miss those fights, but like overall, when it came to the main card and like what we were expecting, first of all, let's get into it. The Canadian men, trash. They couldn't get a win to save their life. Shout out to, and I don't normally shout out Jasmine Jazz Davidakis because my girl Natalia Silva styled on her, but she came in there with like,
hey, Cruz too. Don't forget about Cruz fucking her up too.
You're right. She
came
was
in there
vicious.
with bad intentions.
Honestly, could the judge not have stopped? I mean, the
ref
stopped it in a second. Like, what do you want to see here?
Real
she
fast.
A 10-7. One of the judges gave her a 10-7.
Love it. I want to start seeing those come out there. I want to start seeing that come out there. That's how bad of a rounders was.
Watch Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. There's two of them.
Fair. Or watch Max Holloway versus Volkanovski.
He didn't get a 10-7. Sorry, he didn't even get a 10-8.
I said he could have.
No, he couldn't. When was Max gonna be knocked out? When was he gonna finish him in there? He didn't. Please don't play with me.
On a real quick side note, especially for the early fights, did y'all notice that like the refs was not jumping in for the fucking subs?
I didn't notice.
Like he was not. They were not jumping in quick enough for the subs.
No, I did not notice that.
Oh.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting. Shout out to Jillian Roberts. I mean, the two Canadian women was the ones who saved it for Canada. Aside from them, like Canada was gonna go 0-7, 0-8, something like that. It was looking real bad for them.
Shout out to Jillian Robinson because she is like, she can get this work.
2024 and Jace is out here shouting out women. This is crazy.
She can get this work.
Really? She ain't got no ass. Her shorts kept rolling up, and there was like no bottom ass cheek hanging out, no nothing.
Like,
yeah, it was just flat daddy.
Hey,
cutlets.
I like flapjacks. We Gucci, man.
She ain't got no titties in the front either.
It's pretty.
We can get you a twink for all that.
You buying?
Oh,
Hey, them tweaks, they be power bottom. Anyways, let's get to
Oh,
the main card.
whoa.
Let's get to the main card. Arnold Allen versus Evloev. How did y'all score that?
well, if you make the knees legal, probably could have been a TKO, but knees aside, it was close. It was kind of honestly, I had the same feeling I had with the main event that it could have gone either way, and I wouldn't have been mad about either one.
So I had it 30-27, but I thought it was a great fight. Like a lot of people were taking a shit. I thought, excuse me, Arnold Allen trying to do his thing. I loved all the fucking rolls and trying to get
Hmm.
out of there. Like
Yeah.
I fucked with that fight, obviously. And then like your boy Chris Curtis does what he does and just sucks the fucking life out of the room. He is anti-poon. You know what I mean? He legitimately is just like terrible, atrocious. Why are you here? How do you still have a job?
I think I zoned out. I don't even think I honestly saw the entire fight. I think I started talking to my friends, and I was like, "Oh, the fight's over." Okay.
I
Did you
gotta
see
say,
Dana White say that the fight between Arnold Allen and Movsar Evloev was one of the most boring fights he's ever seen?
I honestly felt like Dana White was having a Joe Biden slash what's the guy that keeps freezing in
Oh, the
Kentucky.
one that
Oh,
be glitching out.
oh,
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch
yep,
McConnell. I think that he
yep.
was
Is that
having
his
like a
name?
Joe Biden, Mitch
Hmm.
McConnell moment because like he was
Yes.
not understanding a lot of the questions and was like mixing up stuff. And I was like, Dana, where are you right now? Like, because that I don't think that he was talking about that fight. There's no way that he was talking about that fight.
Yep, I agree with you.
He was talking
Yeah,
about Chris Curtis, 100%.
yeah.
100%. Yeah, I gave it 29-28 to Movsar Evloev. I thought he looked better. I thought he handled the striking a lot better than
Yeah.
what I thought he was going to be able to. And shout out
Hmm.
to Arnold Allen. He was rolling. He was trying his best to get out of that. I mean, Arnold Allen, he's right there. Evloev, they're right there. Like I didn't
Mhm.
think anybody had a bad performance. It just, the cards just didn't go Arnold's way, and you know,
They're pretty
Yeah, I
close in
agree.
the rankings too.
they let's see, have they updated them yet?
Arnold was 4. Ivalov was
Mhm.
around 9ish, I
9.
think.
8-9.
8ish,
Yeah.
9. Yeah,
Okay, that'd be a good jump up for him then.
Yeah. So now they got
yeah.
Evil at 5 and they put Arnold at 6.
Okay, yeah. Hey, yeah, I agree with you, Sky. I set it 2-1 for Mosvar. It was a high level fight. Those, like you were saying, both those guys are very good fighters. I don't think it's a downgrade for Double A losing that fight. He showed what he can do. Showed he was strong. He fought the whole fight. He didn't get just taken down and held down. So it was a good fight for both of them.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a loser, but they both kind of won in that fight.
And real quickly, like here's the fucking thing to all you MMA fighters. You know what I mean? Arnold Allen gave a textbook definition of how to get up or try to get up and not accept the fucking position.
Don't accept it
Because
exactly.
too many times people just accept the fucking position. And he, like, again, yes, he was getting taken
Neil
down, but he was.
Magny. Neil Magny was accepting the position until he won that fight. He was just laying there.
Yeah. So I thought that was beautiful. I think that was textbook of like what we want as MMA fans of like, man, like, bro, like, are you trying to win this or what? Like, hey, Double A was trying to. It's weird to say Double A. Y'all know I'm a WWE fan, so I think of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson. When I
Arn
hear
Anderson,
Double A,
they don't know about that, my
they
boy.
don't know. They don't know about that. These young guns.
What's next,
Um,
Sky? What's next on the docket?
that was Chris Curtis versus
Nope. Skip.
Marc-Andre. Yeah,
Skip.
here's what I do want to say about that fight. Chris Curtis still went on the MMA Hour and was like popping shit about how the fans acted and how we felt about the fight. I'm like, dude, I know. And his whole argument was he threw more punches in that fight than he did the Kelvin Gastelum fight, which is a fight that everybody liked. And I'm like, because there's a difference. There's a difference in pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean? Like y'all just exchanging shots. It did feel like a sparring match, and y'all going in there trying to really hurt somebody or somebody getting an advantage out of it. Like it was, yeah, it was hard to watch. But his response was just kind of like, come on, dude, like don't do the Patty thing where like you blame us for the fact that like, it wasn't received well. I mean, you got the win, but like It was a sparring match. It was Giga versus
Sarah.
Bruce.
It was worse.
Yeah, Caceres.
It was worse.
Yeah.
I actually remember moments of Giga versus Alcaceres.
Yeah.
I don't remember a single thing that happened in Chris Curtis
Nothing.
versus Marc-Andre to
Isn't that like the funny ass thing with MMA fights? How you can kind of like determine like if you're fucking with it or not, where you zone out. All of a sudden you watch, and then all of a sudden you doing this. Oh, wait a second! I'm supposed to be watching the fight.
Round
If I'm-
3?
Yeah.
It was 1-1 like 2 seconds ago.
No,
If
ain't
I'm
nothing
a-
worse than when like you look up, you think it's round 3, and it's only round 2. I'm like, oh my god. Hey,
you can feel when a fight is long and the fight is going on, and you look up and you're like, damn, there's still 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. I feel like they've been fighting
Hey.
forever.
Hey, we about to get there with this Raquel fight.
Yeah.
Fight. Neil Magny versus Mike Malott. What the hell happened, Mike? What happened to Mike?
Listen, coffee's for closers. No coffee for you, my friend.
I mean, he's dominating Neil Magny. Dominating him. It's looking like, he's going to just... I mean, it was ridiculous. And then what, 30 seconds left? You get
Something
taken
like
down.
that.
I was just like, I ain't got nothing else left in me. That was crazy. Shout out to Neil Magny. February came early.
And listen, y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know who I be picking. The one time in my verdict that I don't pick the way I pick, I fuck around and lose. Mike Malott, he was doing this shit for 3 rounds, 2.5, 2.25. He got all the way and couldn't finish the fight off. And I'm not gonna shit on Mike. He has skills, right? And he will do well in the UFC. Neil Magny, he's a gatekeeper. I'm just not gonna shit on Mike. Hopefully he can continue. Hey, you learn from losses, so hopefully he does well. He's still young. But man, Neil Magny he pulled that out his fucking asshole to get that win.
Hey, he did his best. Mike Malott did his best Shell Sonnen.
For reals. For reals.
Is Mike Malott young though? I thought he was like, at least for this stage of his career, he's like 32,
31.
33.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me see. He's 32.
32.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, he got 3 more years before that UFC curse come around.
hey, that thing doing what it's supposed to do. We ain't gonna spend too much time on Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Bueno Silva because that was hard to watch. That was terrible to watch. I was really disappointed in MBS. I thought she was gonna go out there and like just look better, do better. Instead, she let Raquel Pennington do what Raquel Pennington does, which is stand up on and clinch on the side of the fence, and it was terrible.
Even when she was taking punches, I think I started laughing because she was just like,
Yeah,
it was, come on now, this is a title fight.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the worst. Got to be one of the worst women's title fight I've ever seen. It was just bad. It was bad from start to finish. I mean, Raquel finally gets the belt. Nobody cares at all. Couldn't care less.
Was this title fight worse than Rose and Carla?
No, you're right. You're right.
No.
At least they were doing. Rose and Carla barely touched each other.
Yeah.
Don't even remind us of that fight. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Carla Esparza has been removed from the rankings.
Whoa, you right.
Yeah, from the rankings.
Why?
Probably because she just had that baby.
She had a baby?
I didn't know she had a baby.
Remember?
It's been 9 months. Dang, I don't know nothing about Carla.
Yeah.
I don't know what Carla got going on. All right, well, shout out to her. Shout out to her baby. I mean, she done did it twice. I mean, might as well just retire and just enjoy your life.
I'm sure she did it more than twice.
Oh, let's get into the main event, y'all. Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis. Because he's the champion, I'm giving him this one chance. I actually said his name this time because he is the champion. I said his name this time. For the rest of the pod, I'm calling him by the name that his mother gave him, which was Du Plessis. How did y'all score this fight? Let's start there.
Honestly, I thought Sean was going to edge it or draw. But again, it's like I said with Arnold versus Evloev. I'm not mad at the decision. I mean, Sean was. It seemed like he was landing more of the head strikes, and the head strikes, that's the thing that people will take away from the most. But Dricus was landing a little bit, cut him, even if it was from that headbutt. It's kind of arguable if it was from the headbutt or the elbow they landed. Um, but Dricus was landing the body shots continuously. That was the one thing I was surprised that Sean never went to, because Dricus' body is open the whole time. He's sitting like this the entire fight. Throw a couple uppercuts to the body, and I think because the rounds are so close, the wrestling part that Dricus throw in was that mediator to be like, okay, you can kind of see where it goes this round. But they both have weird styles, and I think some people were saying that Dricus looked bad, but I don't think Dricus looked any different than he did in any of his other fights. It was just that he was going up against somebody with a weird style. So get two weird styles together, you're in a weird looking fight. So
What about
it was
you,
interesting.
CJ?
Everything Warren said, I was right there with him. I agree with you. Like I was saying on my lives last week, I'm like, it's an interesting fight. I think with Sean, he's very one dimensional. We see him fight, he fights the same way every time. He has to me, he has one of the best jabs in the game. And like I don't even like him, but I'll give him the credit for that. He will fight, but he didn't change up his style at all until the end. He didn't throw any combos or anything else with it. That jab is like a piston. He did dot up DDP. For scoring the fight, I watched that fight. I watched 2, 3, and 4 3 times already because people have been going back and forth. To me, 2 for DDP. You all right over there, Warren G?
That's not me.
Jace, you all right? Nah, but I had 2 for DDP, 3 for DDP, which to me, I think 3 was the closest out of those rounds. 4 I had for DDP, so 2, 3, and 4 for DDP. And I was talking on my live. I was just like, if we go out and we go get an ice cream sundae, right? Everything's nice and done up. You have the chocolate, you have your whipped cream, you have all of that on there. But mine comes with a cherry on top. You're gonna look at that and be like, damn, that's a complete that's a complete Sunday right there. And I just think with the little bit of takedowns that DDP had, since the fight was so close, and yes, we know Sean got right back up, but when the judges are looking at that, and guys, the judges don't have the stat sheets and all of that. They're watching the fight and they score the fight right after that round right then and there. So when you look at that, DDP got a takedown in that, so that kind of put a stamps on that. Hey, that's what the bigger of the moments that happened in that round. Um, Super close fight. It's not for me to argue back and forth with people. It's like if it went the other way, I could be like, hey man, you can look at the stats and Sean outstruck him here. But I feel like DDP did a lot more damage. He got more consistent in the later rounds where everybody thought he was gonna fall off. I even
Mm-hmm.
thought that shit, but he started fighting harder, throwing big shots. He was more consistent. Leg kicks, body kicks, shots to the head, plus takedowns. It wasn't just a boxing match. He came with an MMA game plan. So all in all, yo, shout out to Jason, all the South Africans out there, baby. Y'all did
Hey,
it.
Cause
hey.
this is Africa, sound waka waka,
Um, I'm gonna let Jace go last because I know that he has more feelings and thoughts about this than I do. I'm gonna try to keep it short. I gave 2, 3, and 4 to Dricus. I thought that it was clear. As soon as it was over, I thought Dricus won. I thought they were gonna rob him. Especially when I knew Saul D'Amato was on there. Saul is the only judge that gave the fight to Sean Strickland. Um, and when we talk about like as far as punch stats, when you look at them in total, Sean Strickland outlanded him by 40 punches, but those punches come in the first and the fifth rounds, which are the rounds that I gave to him. So you have to look at the whole fight. Like CJ said, he was mixing it up. It didn't have to whether he got the takedown, secured them. Sean was getting up. He's mixing it up. He's pushing the pace. He was in his face the whole time. And I just thought Dricus won. And I mean, go back and listen in the middle of the corner. Even at the end of the third round, the first thing Eric Nixon says is, "I don't like the way you looked in that round. I don't like that round."
Yeah,
He knew that he took that round off. And I don't think that it was. I know they showed the headbutt, but right before the headbutt is that left jab that cut him, and then the headbutt or the clashing of heads opens it up a little bit more. But like, even to go in there and be like, oh, I couldn't see any blood, blah 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 blah. Like, it sounds like Tony Ferguson talking about, oh, I got poked in the eye and that's why I lost to Bobby Green, and this happened. My mother had a. Shut up. You're a fighter. That's what you wanted. You said you wanted blood. You want to fight to the death. So shut up talking about, oh, a headbutt and all of this. And y'all was dragging Chris Curtis when Chris Curtis almost got finished because of a headbutt. And now y'all like, hey man, Sean deserves a rematch because y'all are guzzling him down. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Just for the record, I'm not guzzling nobody down. I thought this was such an interesting fight. Like, I loved the fight and like hated the fight at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, I walked away from the fight kind of scratching my head. I thought rounds 1 and 5 were the most definitive, which I did give Sean. I think the round to kind of really tilt the scale is probably round 2, because it's almost like a tale of 2 rounds in round 2 itself. I wouldn't have been mad if they'd have said Sean Strickland was, so to be fair, I was expecting, and still, especially because of 5th round, like Dricus, like, I don't know what the fuck he was doing the 5th round. He wasn't doing shit. I'm glad DDP won, in one aspect, but also I'm not, because obviously they're going to fucking make this Izzy Adesanya the number 1 contender, even though he shouldn't be. And I'm a big believer in styles make fights. And I honestly believe that Sean Strickland has a style that will beat Izzy 9 out of 10 times, where I think Izzy beats Dricus 9 out of 10 times, because I see Dricus styles almost like a Paulo Costa kind of a style, So I'm just thinking about that. And then I got to hear all like the Izzy dick riders back in the fucking DMs, and that's just like troubling to think about ahead of time. You know what I mean? Yes.
It's funny that you say that word deserve, though. It's funny you say that. It's because you yelled up and down last year, Kobe deserves, when he didn't. You shit on Bilal when he does deserve, and then you shit on him. But then you're the same guy that comes in here and is like, man, I want that story. I want that story. Who do you want DDP to fight next? Cannonier, because he's the 2nd rank? Exactly.
Is he still a fighter?
Yeah.
That's the guy who just whooped on Marvin Vettori.
Ooh.
So which one do you want?
Record book whooping.
Do you want the story or you want the deserve? You can't have it both ways.
I don't think.
I'm just talking to Jace, though.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Because you say the story and then you saying deserve. Well, Bilal deserves, and you shit on that man's. Kobe don't deserve shit.
Say it, Warren. Say what you want to say, Warren.
And then make sure you say it with your chest when you do, young man.
Listen, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you respond, and then come back to me. Let me get all the information first.
Baby, come back to me. I actually think that Sean Strickland, especially now, and DDP is the better storyline.
The man who didn't even defend
the belt? Come on, man.
Is a better storyline because he got headbutt and he lost a close fight. He deserves to defend it.
Well, anytime there's controversy about a decision, right? Like, that's a good thing, right? When you have 50 people saying one, 50 people saying another, that's a good thing. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Warren,
if it's justified.
CJ?
If it's justified, yes.
Yeah. Well, I would say consistently, or the consensus is that most people.
True.
What?
Go ahead. I'm just, something came in.
Oh, no. I was saying, like, I just feel like the consensus about this fight is like a pretty fucking good split. There's a lot of people saying DDP won this fight. And then you got like Chael Sonnen out there saying that DDP won every round of the fight. And I'm just like, what fucking fight did you watch?
Bro, we can't listen. Like you got the internet right now?
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off. Can you look up? Somebody sent me that Kayla Harrison's about to fight Holly Holm on UFC 300. I know that can't be right. I know that's not right.
They didn't sign Brock Lesnar. They signed Brock Lesnar.
And that's my plug that always be lacing me up with the fight. So just look it up for me before, and you could cut this out of the pod. if it's not true.
Warren checked on his phone.
I'm not seeing it yet.
No way.
What you
That's
seeing?
real.
Hey, what y'all say? Hey, forward it to me, CJ.
That's real. That's real. Dana
I
just
don't got
announced
it.
it. That's real.
Oh, Dana, like his face?
Yes. He just put it. He said they
she said
signed
Dana
her.
like his face.
Nah, wait a
Kayla
minute.
Harrison versus Holly Holm.
It's on Instagram.
I just logged off and went on the Instagram. Dana White in the caption said they signed Kayla Harrison.
Oh,
For UFC
hell no.
300,
Bring
Sky.
Amanda back. Bring Amanda back right now.
Gang. Yes, bring Amanda back. Whoop
No,
her
for
ass,
UFC
bro.
300.
Wait a
we
minute.
need that.
I need to
So
go
he
back
must be
because
live
what
right
weight
now.
class would it be at?
Not on his
Because
Instagram.
isn't
She-
145 officially gone now?
She's not
Yeah.
Holly Holm. Kayla is big. She ain't making no 135. Holly
Wait
Holm
a
versus
minute.
Kayla Harrison is official for UFC 300. I
Hold
just got
on.
that in my verdict.
Hold on, let me hear this.
Announcement for UFC 300. Holly Holm. She was inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame in 2022. In the history of the women's bantamweight division, she is tied for fourth most
It's
wins.
real.
It's
All right,
real.
guys, here's another announcement for UFC 300. Holly Holm. She
Ever
was
compete in
inducted the
combat
Boxing-
sports.
It's fucking real, y'all.
It's real. I'm watching his gram.
I just put it up on here. Yo. Hey, shout out to CJ. I think this might be the second time that CJ like done hit us.
I be
with
having the plug.
drops.
I be having the plugs, yo.
That's a shame that somebody else got the plug before me. That's crazy. Because
That's
I ain't got not
crazy.
one email.
Wow.
So y'all, when y'all listen to the pod, we dropped it here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gotta go to Dana first. We got it, baby.
God damn.
That's
Hey,
crazy. That's crazy.
Kayla, hey, I gotta wait for Jace to pop back up on here because I've
I'm
been
here.
real- Okay, cool. I've been real critical about Kayla because she was popping all that shit in the PFL. She was going crazy in the PFL, and I was just like, man, if you're not gonna come over here and scrap and beat somebody up, then I don't want to hear it. And really, her versus Holly Holm, I feel like she's gonna get Holly Holm the fuck up out of there.
I was about to say this is a whack time for her to come in. Pause.
Yeah,
You know
need
what
to
I'm
come
saying?
in on Amanda time. Oh,
Yeah,
and Amanda was just
yeah.
talking about she's
About
a fighter.
coming back?
She wanna, hey!
Mhm.
Oh, I wish they would.
Yeah.
I wish Amanda was still fighting. They could run her.
You
for
got
300.
to think that the UFC tried. You got to
have
think the
to.
UFC had
They
tried to get
definitely
Amanda back.
threw her a
But
bad.
you know what?
Yeah.
Amanda's not in the testing pool, so she got to be in for 6 months. So that's probably why they weren't able to secure it. Ooh, Kayla said, "Listen, big dog, y'all, PFL held her all throughout last year. She didn't get no fights. She didn't get to compete inside of the season. And the way her contract was set up was after her last fight, she was done. Like she had, they didn't have to match anything after that because they had matched and kept her from going to Bellator and kept her from going to the UFC before 2 years ago. So now she was like, hey, I'm coming over here. Oh, that looks nasty. You know, PFL and Bellator just linked up, and it was supposed to be like, oh, this is the best thing for the fighter, blah, blah, blah. And your number one star, the one before they got Francis, but your number one person that you've been like
Pushing.
putting everything on top of was like, yeah, I'm about to go to the UFC.
So now
I want to know
Sky-
what weight class it is, though.
Jace, we got to see your face. Come back on.
I will in a second.
Okay.
So now, Sky, will you not take a shit on Kayla Harris anymore?
Because she's in the UFC, she's going to be able to come and compete. However, I feel like she's going to do well. Because who's that one? She's not going to go to 135. She's not a 135er. She's way too big. She fights at 55 at the PFL. So 145 is as low as she can go. It's messed up because we were this close to getting Kayla versus Cyborg. Now, that's what I really wanted to see.
She definitely don't want that smoke.
So now we're not going to see that.
Who?
Which makes sense as to why.
Who don't want to smoke?
Kayla Harrison.
What? You think
With
so?
Cyborg? Bro, did you watch her last fight in her striking?
Do you think so, though?
With Cyborg? Did you watch Cyborg's last fight?
It's
in
an
boxing?
MMA fight. It's an MMA fight.
This is nuts.
Cyborg has them hands. Kayla Harrison does not. She has decent grappling, bro. She was struggling with Aspen Lad. Like, come on now, brother. Hell no.
Guess we'll see.
Hell no. She probably gonna get Holly out of there just because of her style.
Holly's like 45 years old.
Exactly.
I'm surprised that the PFL signed Aspen Ladd. I don't put her against Kayla Harrison. That just kind of shows how shallow their competition is. Because when's the last time Aspen Ladd won a fight?
I don't know.
When's the last time Aspen Ladd made weight.
I was just about to say that she always has trouble with her weight.
Right. Made
That's
weight,
why-
won a fight.
That's why 155 was such a good weight.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this means that the UFC is going to put energy and time into actually building up 145, and bringing, you know, some women fighters in and promoting them and showing, you know, because there are that division. Obviously, you know, Laura Pacheco's doing her thing at PFL. She's doing her damn thing over there. You know what I mean? So hopefully they'll build it up. I'm interested to see what happens with that. I don't even remember. And you don't want to know what's sad is that we was just putting Jace's feet to the fire, trying to get him to like admit about like how he's super biased with Sean Strickland and these different fighters, and I don't even remember what happened. I don't even remember what happened. I think I know Jace was talking about as far as the storylines and talking about, you know, a close fight and that being compelling to rebook it. But at the end of the day, there is nothing at middleweight or even really in the UFC right now that is hotter than 36 and me. Drunk Izzy walking in talking about N-word, 36 and me, like that beef right there has to take place. And if they can't do it for 300, they have to do it for International Fight Week.
Oh man, that means I gotta spend some money.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
We gotta pull up.
And I want to point out that I can't believe that Jace just sat up here and said 9 out of 10 times he thinks Izzy beats Dricus, when for the longest, the last year, he's been saying that Dricus was going to demolish Izzy. I know y'all remember that.
Facts.
Jace.
Facts.
If you're
he got his mic and his camera off now.
Y'all keep talking. I'll be done in 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You keep bubble in right now?
He must be.
I got the bubble guts.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the fight to make is Izzy versus Dricus. I mean, and when they asked Dana about it, you know, he did the little smirk and the little, you know, he did like the little smile, you know, we'll announce some stuff. So that'll be interesting. I think overall, I'm very happy that UFC 297 is done, that Sean Strickland is no longer the champion. Let's hear what you have to say about Dricus and Izzy.
Dricus and Izzy.
Yeah, because for the longest you were saying, like pretty much all last year, you was like, Dricus is going to get Izzy out of there, finish him, knock him out. And then today you said 9 times out of 10 you think Izzy wins.
Yeah, just after watching the last fight, you know, you're only as good as your last fight. Kind of brought me to a different conclusion. Obviously, I'm going to be pulling for my boy, the first African-born champion. You know,
pulling
the first
hard,
real African, real hard, like his coach.
He ain't got them African genes to kick in though.
Yeah, you're right. Izzy does
Unintended.
not. He's Chinese.
Hey, don't ever talk about Big Daddy Izzy.
Yo, chill. Come on now.
The proof is in the spandex, okay, my boy?
Oh, brother.
Big Daddy Izzy.
Oh, man.
Brother, this.
I don't know him like that.
Hey,
I don't know him like that.
I'm the only girl on here. I can say it. It is what it is.
Fair. Well, that was a transition.
That's when I always want to tag in Mo, but then I want Mo to live her back.
Nah, Mo gonna stay her ass back there. You trying to?
I'm trying to miss about home.
She about to be running around here looking like Dricus.
Stop it.
Scott trying to get your eye dotted up. Over here trying to look at sausages, man.
Big Daddy Izzy, tell her Big Daddy Izzy. She know.
Meat Stick Mondays.
Hey.
Oh no. What did your boy have the game, or I had to unfollow him because he kept having like
he started
Meat
that
Tuesdays.
He started that trend. Fine N-word Fridays.
Yeah, and he would just show man meat, and I'm like, bro, come on, man, I had to unfollow him. I used to, because he used to have the best hashtag game in all of Instagram.
Yeah.
Old school game, unfucking real.
Let's talk quickly about Dana's comments around fighters being able to say, do whatever they want, whenever they want. Your boy Ariel Helwani, you know, king of the receipts. I can't stand Ariel anymore, but he is the king of the receipts. And he did pull out all the receipts of all the times in the past that Dana had fired suspended fighters, fired UFC employees, made people apologize for making homophobic remarks, all kind of, not only just homophobic, but also just like anti-Semitic remarks, like all kind of stuff that people have been punished for. And now all of a sudden it's the Wild Wild West. You can say and do whatever you want to do. And how like this whole new version of Dana has come out around, him going to the Republican convention, being all super pro Trump, because the UFC is now the Republican convention. I don't know if y'all realize that yet, but like we got Tucker Carlson walking out, we got Trump walking out. I mean,
Saint Denis or whatever his name is.
Yeah, we got everybody out there. It's DeSantis. He was there too.
Not this most recent one, but wasn't he at one like the last couple months or so?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want to say yes.
Yeah,
I want to say the Sean O'Malley card.
Yeah, and it will probably be at the one in Miami.
You know what? Yeah. You're right, because they gave him a standing ovation, like they was going crazy for him. So the UFC is the Republican convention, and the fans. That's a whole nother. But Jace, I know specifically you know a little bit more just about the past, how the UFC was, like people getting in trouble and stuff. Like, how do you feel about this new current era that we're in?
So I'll make mine really short and sweet. I think this is all linked, and this is me putting on my conspiracy cap. I think this is all linked to the UFC's antitrust lawsuit, and now he's trying to be like, oh, people are independent contractors, right? I really 100% think that is the way that he's trying to play it, because obviously that's not the case, right? Even in recently in ring interviews, where people have dropped the F-bomb, or the new F-bomb, let's call it, and you see like the broadcasters, the pundits, if you would, walking away, instantaneously, or like, stop it. If it was a real Wild Wild West, they would just sit there, keep letting them grind out whatever the fuck they want to say, Don't act like Dana White. Don't act like you're not talking to these guys at all, because I even heard Sean a couple of times, try to like change his word a couple of times. You know what I mean? Like give him that coaching. Hey, guy, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about money. And Disney went head to head with DeSantis. You know what I mean? Like, Disney don't play. They all about protecting the brand. And when those sponsors like, yo, because people call them sponsors and be like, yo, this ain't cool. We'll see. One thing
I find very interesting about the UFC fan base that I'm talking about, the extreme right-wing fan base, and you could be whatever you want to be, doesn't matter to me, is that when you have fighters talking about left-wing stuff, all the right-wing fans come out and say, leave politics out of sports. Don't bring up politics, blah, 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 blah. But when it's a politic or a politician that you support, we can have it all throughout the sport. It's totally fine. It's totally okay. But when it goes against your views and opinions, then all of a sudden we have to leave it out of sport. And that's where it just becomes vile and disgusting, and y'all trying to police what people can say and feel. I think overall that the UFC needs to step in. And the reason why I say that is because it is you guys went to uniforms to try and make yourself look more like, less like a cage fighting organization, a cockfighting. You guys made all these changes to try and be up there with the NFLs, the NBAs, to try and look more like professional fighting rather than just people just out here brawling. And you've made these changes, and yet you're still allowing people to say things that are incredibly offensive and just politically incorrect. And granted, sure, you can continue to let them say and do these things, but that puts you in that same category that you were trying to get out of just these untamed people who are locked inside of a cage fighting each other until you're bloody. And I think it makes it hard for a casual fan just to come in. I mean, you don't even see that in boxing, right? And Dana loves boxing, but they don't get to talk and be like that. And I think that, like, in order to keep the UFC to look professional and somewhat refined, like, yeah, you can say your opinions, but there's also a way to speak about certain things. There's a certain way that I feel like these fighters should uphold themselves. You know what I mean? The way that Sean Strickland shows up in the world, the way that he shows up at these press conferences, is not okay. It's just not. And how am I going to retain new fans when this is my middleweight champion? When this is the guy who's on the poster, when this is the guy who's going viral for saying all of this crazy stuff. Sure, you get those casual views of people that's like, oh, who is this guy? But like our brother, Jace and I's brother, he's not gonna watch that. He's not gonna click for Sean Strickland's BS that he's saying. I think that it's unprofessional. And if you want to create yourself to look like you guys are the premier brand, Apple is never coming out saying no crazy crap like this. And Apple can do really whatever it wants to do because people are gonna still buy the latest iPhone, right? The latest computer. But they hold themselves, I know, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's a cult. They hold themselves to a certain standard, and the UFC's not. And I think eventually it's gonna bite them in the butt. Because what happens when Sean Strickland grabs the mic? I was so happy he didn't go crazy. And he starts talking about Disney. And he starts talking about Mickey Mouse. You can't talk about Mickey Mouse on Mickey Mouse's channel. What happens then? I guarantee you he'll be policed.
Like when he said Coors instead of Bud Light. Shout out to Brock. UFC 100.
Yeah. So.
What do you think,
What
Warren?
about y'all? Y'all got any thoughts?
I didn't know about the MMA hour and about how there was like some inconsistencies there. But I was thinking, like, when I listened to that interview with Dan talking about that, thinking about with Manel Cap and who the other guy was, and how they had put out apologies almost immediately. Like, you know they didn't just do that on their own. You know they didn't just do that on their own. So I think that if you're gonna have that kind of attitude, stick to one side and like Jace likes to claim that he is, be consistent. I think that's honestly the only thing. I think that it's like giving the example of Sean Strickland. A lot of stuff he says, I I have a hard time taking it seriously sometimes because anytime fighters have strong opinions on like super political things, I'm like CTE. Like CTE is the first thing that goes to my brain. Like, and that's why like when people talk about like Colby Covington and how he says all this stuff, it's like I can't even take that seriously. Like I know this just act. I know this, there's all these different things, and I mean look at like Frank Mir. That man barely talks in cohesive sentences. Same thing with Tito Ortiz. It's just like these. There's so many different factors that go into it that I'm like, fighters don't. That's not really something that they're not extremely informed on it. The people you see that are informed of the fighters I do talk are like the ones who are out here like doing businesses. Like Ali Quinta, he has his own real estate business. Different fighters like that. So I think if you're gonna do it, just be consistent with it, and stick to that narrative. If not, then pick a side and figure your stuff out.
And speaking of being consistent about it, my thing was, go ahead, Jace.
I was just gonna say I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with y'all. I mean, yes, I agree with it on principle. You know what I mean? I'm not an advocate for the things that Sean Strickland's actually out there saying, right? But I mean, the guy got the most pop of anyone by far. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even close. As far as who the fans were there to see, wanted to hear, wanted to be a part of, gravitating toward, right? So this nationalistic mentality, right, resonates in a lot of fucking people. Because if not, he would get booed, right? We've seen it. We've seen it where like the crowd will turn. Like, Ian Gary, the most hated man in MMA right now. You're right. Just everyone's completely turned on him. But Sean Strickland, so many people are clamoring now for him. You know what I mean? So why would the UFC want to do anything different when it pertains to him?
And I hear what you're saying. And he got the blueprint from Colby Covington. He's doing the exact same thing. Even though he talks bad about Kobe, he's pandering to that exact same fan base, right?
So
Like,
wait, real fast. Do you think he actually is pandering? Because I don't think he is. I think this is 100% who Sean Strickland
I
is in real life.
honestly 100% think that Sean Strickland needs to be checked in to a 72-hour hold, and I think that he needs to be on medications. I believe that he is a walking time bomb, and something bad is going to happen with him out in the streets amongst people. If you go back to his very first MMA Hour interview, I keep telling y'all, it's 45 minutes long. It is dark, and it is nasty, and it is vile, and it's nothing more about him talking about running in dark parks, hoping that a homeless person puts himself in a position for him to legally kill them without him having to go to jail. He sits up and he fantasizes about stuff like this. Listen to that interview. And even this weekend, he told y'all, when he says the stuff that y'all say, y'all think that he's playing. He said, I'm not playing. I'm being very serious and nobody's taking me seriously. Something is clinically wrong with that man. That's what I think about him. I think that he's a loose cannon and he's a fucking nut. He sat up there and said that he was going to stab Dricus Du Plessis if he mentioned his father again. You're a grown man over here crying, trying to stab another man. Went as far as to say, I will ruin my life just to stab you. He's not right in the head. And I guarantee you, if given the opportunity, if Dricus would have said something, he would have stabbed that man. I think Sean Strickland is a loose cannon, and I think that I have nothing good to say about him at all as a human being. As far as the fans clamoring behind him, once again, this goes back to weeks ago when I talked about super impressionable. A lot of these people is young, white men, 15, 16, 19 years old, that have hooked on to the things that he's saying. Him wearing a shirt saying, oh, women should be in the kitchen and guns should be in every hand, whatever it says, something like that. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah. And then they get on this internet and they're calling women bees and hoes and all kind of crazy wildness. Like, that's not, if y'all think that that's okay, then that's fine. But this has now become the UFC's core fan base. I'm not okay with it. I'm at the point to where, like, when it's a Sean Strick, like, it's hard for me to interact with these people. It's hard for me to be inside the comments. Like, even on this podcast, like, this podcast is not that fan base. That fan base is not going to enjoy listening to us, especially to me. Yeah. And that I'm just not a part of that I'm not a part of that fan base. So yeah, it gets a pop, but all pop isn't good pop.
Shout out to Diet Pops.
Yeah. Real quick before we wrap this up, this weekend we do have one championship, as CJ pointed out to us, because y'all know one thing CJ gonna do is he gonna watch all MMA, not just UFC. He gonna watch it all.
Yes, so you little casuals crying that there's no fights this weekend. Yes, there is, little nerds.
Go out and support your boy.
That was even disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're like, damn, bro, why you gotta go that way? Yeah, Sage Northcutt's fighting, Sexy Yama's fighting. You know, it's gonna be a good fight. Superlek's fighting. So if you guys like watching fights, hey guys, there's gonna be some fights on. I'll probably have to watch the next day because the timing's a little weird. They're gonna be in Japan, but tune in and check it out.
Okay,
what day of the week is that?
Friday.
The 28th.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, Cade has a match.
I'll probably have to check it after. I'll again be out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boy Warren making money out here. I see you.
Hey, Warren out here doing this thing.
Can I confirm or deny?
Real quick before we get out of here, you said you want to announce your next guest that you have coming on.
Oh yes, I won't say the guest name, but tomorrow there will be a new video out. Psych MMA YouTube channel. Consistency is gonna be coming back. I wrote my whole plan. It wasn't like a New Year's goal kind of thing. It was just like a random Sunday. The last couple of days, I'm like, all right, making a goals list for the year. Not only with the YouTube channel, but just, life in general. So the consistency is coming back. Next time you see me on here, I'm about to have 3 different interviews up. So
yes, sir.
I'm waiting for my invitation.
Yeah, I got some other ideas too about like not just fighter interviews, but doing some talk with other MMA fans type of, I guess not podcast style, but just like a round table discussion. So kind of similar to what you all do here.
Copy that.
So I will. Maybe I'll have you on mine sometime.
If you want this smoke,
Yeah.
we got a couple of hot takes before we get out of here. The first hot take is where is this says? These names are so wild. So, some of y'all, man, like I don't know, like is it a lot of thought that you put in or no thought that you put in? But it's let's take a look at this. At It's Lorgasmic at Instagram, who says, who has the best MMA physique?
Oh, I feel like it's between Yoel Romero and your boy on the horse meat. What's his name? Alistair?
Alistair Overeem.
No, so
On when he was on the horse meat though.
The
like,
Ream.
You know, I feel like it's
Ream.
kind of in between there.
Bro,
but
look like an action figure. It's crazy.
yeah, and just for me to be a weirdo, also like, Tyron Woodley got that thing. He got that butt on him.
Bro, come on now, bro. Brother.
that's a crazy time for you to say that after that video that came out.
Oh! Shout out to Tyron. We never talked about Tyron in his little sex tape. Oh, that's crazy.
He got a sex tape?
Tyron was out there. He's a munch.
Can you tell the fans what a munch is?
You know, he likes to eat tacos after a fight. Fur tacos, hairy tacos,
Bird tacos.
vertical tacos.
Oh, vertical tacos.
Yeah.
Warren, who you got?
Man, that's actually a hard question. I'd probably say for a long time I thought Kamaru Usman. No, I can't say it because of his skinny legs. Yeah, I don't know. Ignore that. Rewind.
Hey, Damien gonna fight you over Kamaru now. You know that's
that's his man's.
That's his man.
That's mine too. That's one of my favorite fighters as well.
No, you gotta watch what you agreeing to. You don't know what you agreeing to right now. Go ahead.
That's his man.
What do you mean by that?
Hey, yeah, exactly. Ask questions first. There was an episode that Damien was tipsy and we don't know what was going on.
I don't even know. I'm like cycling through the roster right now. Come back to me. I gotta think about it a little more. I don't even know.
CJ?
Tabitha Ritchie. Y'all, you ain't finna catch me slipping on no bullshit. You got caught, Warren. You let these fools get you, man.
Listen, now, if we're gonna talk about that, if you're gonna talk about that,
brother,
then I'd say Tracy Cortez.
Yeah, whatever, whoever.
Hey, don't be talking about my girl, Tracy Cortez.
Oh, shit.
Come on now, stop playing.
You ain't finna catch me slipping.
Y'all know I go crazy over Tracy Cortez, man. She can get this work.
Who you got, Jason?
I'm not insecure. I'm gonna say Yoel Romero. Guy's just ridiculous. Just looks.
You ain't gonna
ridiculous.
say you're not insecure as much as you pause on this goddamn podcast. Boy, stop.
Me?
Boy, stop.
Me? Never.
You?
Never. And then we got one more quick one from Vegas Jace 1. And this one is specifically, I guess, for Warren. It says, can you grow facial hair?
Listen, I was just having this conversation earlier today. The facial hair genetics are just not working fast enough. I have been trying to grow this since August. And
trying to grow what? He got some pubic hair.
I promise. Let me fix my lighting. If you get in the right lighting, you can see a little.
He got some pubic hair up there.
And then
he might be a munch.
No.
You got to do that a little bit. You got to do that a little bit more.
You got to eat pussy. It's the only way it grows.
Don't even beat around the bush.
Hey.
You didn't even. Yo.
I got it.
Yeah, Scott. Hey, knuckle me up. Knuckle me.
Hey. Honestly, I think CEO got more facial hair.
Oh, I know, man. You
Shout
said
out to my young nephew.
the
CEO.
16-year-old. They trying to play
Listen. I'm 22 now. I gotta just accept it and just keep moving.
Here we go, young blood. I'm gonna tell you, like
Hey.
my uncle used to tell me, eat pussy, it'll grow. CJ over there is he write a book.
Listen, that may be a myth. That's all I'm gonna say. That may be a myth.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
All right. UFC late night. Did you have another one or?
No, we good.
All right, y'all. We will be back next week. Even though there's no fights, we'll be back next week to discuss. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of stuff shaking up this week. So we'll be back to discuss anything that's happening. But y'all make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Trash us in the comments. We love to talk back. And we are out of here. Peace.
Peace. Just work it.
Peace.
And yes, I did have to take a shit during the podcast. Oh my
I
God.
knew it.
I had a feeling.
I was sitting here and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. We've got a bleeder. Oh my God.
Oh, God.
What?
Let me just ask y'all, if you had to choose, since y'all are huge Adesanya fans, would you rather see him fight Pereira at light heavyweight next or Du Plessis at middleweight next?
God, it's good to be Israel Adesanya.
Have options.
I want to see him at middleweight. I think it's a bad fight for him at 205.
Those legs get messed up even more than they did in the last two fights.
Yeah, and
Those legs were destroyed.
And Alex is less compromised.
And Izzy, last time he went up, he didn't even go all the way to 205. Wasn't he like 194 or something?
Yeah, I think 196.
I think there'd be too many X factors against him. I don't think it'd be a smart move for him to go 205. I think
we're not talking about what's the best option for him. Like, which one is just do you think would be like? Which would you be more excited to see?
Him versus Dricus.
Yeah, him versus Dricus. Because I would actually think it would be competitive. So I'd be like, okay, I can see that being a good fight. If the Pereira, I'd be like, okay, Pereira's going to KO him in the first 2 rounds or break his leg.
Dang, that's how you feel?
At 205?
Yeah.
At 205, yeah.
I don't know. I think the bigger story would be him fighting Pereira, the trilogy, different weight class. I think that's the way bigger story option for the UFC.
I respect it.
I think I just want him to take more time. Like, kind of not the full 3 years for John Jones, but like take some few months and build yourself up into a light heavyweight and come in at 205, maybe.
I don't even think he can get that big. Pause.
When you were here talking about how big he was, what you mean?
Hey, that's the third arm.
That's the third arm.
But I don't think he can get it would take a lot of effort for him because he looked like he eat a lot. Like when he be posting, he eats a lot. You know, he has the right people around him to help. I think he's just a skinny African kid right now.